If the money on the sidewalk thing was like some weird drug dealing thing or something. So there's your segue into this email, in which he says, I just wanted to throw this out there after listening to Jeff and his description of the Need for Speed crew from this most recent game. From the quick look, they all seem like horrible losers, but harmless for the most part. Then Jeff on the Bombcast joked about how they all seem like the kind of assholes that sell Xanax or synthetic weed. While the former drug is almost impossible to OD on, it should be noted that the latter is horribly dangerous. There is no one brand of synthetic weed, and some strains have been known to kill people. It's so dangerous that a former heroin addict in a recent NPR article said that synth weed scares the hell out of him. Synth weed, a.k.a. Spike, is no joke, and you shouldn't fuck around with it. I know this sounds like 80s-era drug war rhetoric, but this time it's actually kind of real. I just thought I'd share really quick, because oftentimes people don't realize there is a huge difference between synthetic weed and regular weed.
Yeah, there's a lot of really fucked up synthetics out there these days.
I'd never heard the term spike before. I've seen it as spice, I think.
Yeah, I think I've heard of that.
But apparently, like,
I think there are different. I mean, there are different brands.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I looked into. You're right. Like, I looked into this a little bit, and there is no agreed upon definition chemically for what this stuff even is.
What is it? People are smoking Fleek now, right? That's someone went and named a drug Fleek.
Great.
Because why wouldn't you?
Good stuff.
It's the fucking most 2015 name for a
that always. Manufacturing process different for different types of synthetic weeds, so different ingredients.
It's trying to hit the same receptors.
Flocka.
Okay. That's better. That's totally better.
Yeah,
it's trying to hit the same receptors, but they're synthetic cannabinoids, but apparently they react in the brain very differently from actual weed.
But the stories about Flocka are amazing because it's like it just sounds like this very cheap and guaranteed PCP nightmare. That is like, I mean, it sounds super fucked, but who knows if that's real or trumped up by the media.
Right.
But it's like, here's this headline as soon as I fucking searched it. New scary street drug called Flocka, or $5 insanity, on rise in the U.S. That sounds like a fucking Subway sandwich deal.
Right.
Come on in, we got $5 insanity.
Wow.
We're fucking blowing it out.
So is that legit? Like it's a cheaper alternative to weed? Because like weed seems to be
Flocka is not an alternative to weed. Flocka sounds like an alternative to PCP or something.
Neither is this other stuff. Like this other stuff apparently does not affect people in remotely the same way.
I don't understand these things.
These damn kids and their street drugs.
Seriously, I'm too old for this shit.
Yeah, like it always weirded me out when people would take shit that like was new enough that it only had like an alphanumeric name.
Yeah, I had some friends that were in like getting research chemicals and going down that fucking road.
And it's just like, what are you doing to yourself?
Like, just taking some 2CT7, bro. I was like, dude, fucking what? No. Yeah. Like, okay, you're in my house taking fucking T7. Tell me what to expect. So if
they don't know.
So exactly. Oh.
Yeah.
I have a synthetic weed story.
Oh God, Jesus.
I've never taken it.
Okay.
I have a story involving it.
All right.
It was a WWE pay-per-view in Minneapolis called Braggin' Rights 2010.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I've heard this one.
And I afterwards, Mark Henry invited me to a strip club.
Okay. Yeah, totally. Of course.
I went to a strip club with Mark Henry.
Yeah.
Some other guys were there.
Sexual chocolate.
R-Truth, Alberto Del Rio, Chavo Guerrero. We were all at a strip club.
Mm-hmm.
And I got extremely drunk and started walking home. Probably like 2 a.m. or something. And I decided like, you know what? I got anxiety. It's getting pretty bad. At the time, it was way worse than this now. I was like, you know what? I hear so much about, people use weed for like medical stuff, medicinal stuff for anxiety and stuff. And like, I was never a weed guy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, maybe I'll give this a shot or whatever. And here I am at 2:00 on like a Sunday, it would have been.
Yeah.
Like, where am I going to find weed? I want to try weed and see if that helps my anxiety.
And also, you're hammered walking out. Super hammered. That seems like exactly the sort of right time to be like, I want to get into the drugs. It's an informed decision.
But for the right reasons. I genuinely wanted like the anxiety. Like I heard it was actually helpful. I was like, maybe I'll look into this. Hammered at 2 a.m. on a Sunday. So I say, bye, Mark Henry. I'm going to try to find some weed. So I leave the strip club.
I mean, you should have stayed with Mark Henry.
Well, the strip club is closing down.
He would have known where to get.
You don't know that.
He might have been holding right there.
I'm not saying that he is using or anything like that. I'm saying as a celebrity.
Oh, okay.
In any city,
he would have connections.
He's going to know someone who knows someone who knows.
Okay. Well, in my mind, at 2 a.m, I'm thinking, okay, it's Minneapolis. It's 2 a.m. on a Sunday. Oh, right. Sex World is open 24/7.
Sex floors of sex.
No, it's 3 stories.
It's 3 stories of sex.
It's a sex place that is 3 stories tall, and they got a big neon sign that says open 24/7.
What's the escalation there? Like, what's on the first floor as opposed to what's on the third floor?
Do they have
they closed down the third floor. I've been there and asked.
They closed down the third floor? Is it because it's too fucking much?
No, I think there's still stuff going on up there because the whole 5 years I lived there, all the third floor windows glowed bright red.
Of course. Yeah.
So
they just turned it into a grow operation.
Yeah.
They just have the fucking lights on. Yeah, so you're right to go there, probably.
Right. And so I remembered from having gone into Sex World a couple times before that they sold pipes and stuff. And I was like, I bet the guys at Sex World know where I could find some marijuana.
Man.
And so I walk in there, and I ask the guys, like, hi, I've never really smoked weed, but I'd like to smoke weed for my anxiety and see if that works. You sell pipes. Do you have weed? And they were like, yeah, we can sell you weed right here. I was like, what?
Oh, no.
And I was like, this doesn't sound right at all. Like, it's in Minnesota.
You stumbled into a sting operation.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think medicinal marijuana was a thing in Minnesota. And they were like, yeah, we'll just sell you weed here over the counter. I was like, that's legal? They're like, yeah, we'll sell you this. They called it like a one-hitter or something. It looked like a cigarette, but you're supposed to like put your weed in there or whatever.
Kathmandu Temple gift.
But they're like, okay, so yeah, you can buy this one-hitter thing, and then over here is our weed, just under the counter, under this glass thing, next to the pipes and stuff. And again, even drunk, I'm like, this doesn't sound right. And the one they showed me it had the Sonic the Hedgehog logo on it.
Okay, I have no red flags yet.
I swear to God, this is 100% true. It's in a little glass tube that said Sonic the Hedgehog. No, it didn't say the Hedgehog. It just said Sonic and clearly the Sonic thing with a bunch of weird kind of flaky green stuff in it in a glass tube. And I was like, all right, whatever. And wound up costing me like $80 or something for like the synthetic stuff. And I didn't know it was synthetic at the time. But yeah, I bought it and I went home. Again, wasted, not knowing anything about how to smoke or how to do any of this stuff. And I realized I don't have any lighters because I've never smoked.
Yeah.
So I had a stove that had actual flames and stuff.
This is another great idea.
And so I thought, well, fuck, this is the only way I know how to make fire in my apartment right now. So I just shoved a bunch of this Sonic the Hedgehog stuff into this cigarette-looking one-hitter thing.
You got to go fast.
I put it in my mouth. I turned up the heat all the way high on the stove thing, so there was actual flames. And halfway down to, like, bending down to try to light it on the stove, I just had this epiphany where it's like, I'm drunk, but I can't be this. This is a bad idea. I should not do this. And I stopped and I set the stuff down on the counter. I woke up incredibly hungover at like, 11 the next day or whatever and saw that stuff and like completely even forgot that I had gone and gotten that stuff. Yeah. And I took it and without ever trying it or whatever, I threw both of them down the laundry chute of my apartment. Or no, it wasn't a laundry chute. Sorry, it was a trash chute.
Okay.
They had a trash chute that I was on the 10th floor and it would go all the way down.
Close enough.
So I have never smoked synthetic weed, but I did drunkenly buy Sonic the Hedgehog weed after a night at the strip club with Mark Henry.
That's probably for the best. You might not be here with us otherwise.
Yeah, it's a damn good story.
Yeah.
It was a weird night. Weird Sunday night in Minneapolis.
I'm sure.
I remember I went to go see the Up and Smoke tour. The Dr. Dre and Eminem.
Yeah.
Ice Cube was there. Amazing concert. The glowing devil endo skull telling people to smoke. Not a great place if you don't like the smell of weed, let's say. But I remember we were leaving and in the parking lot, there was a guy out there. He was selling they were lollipops, and I don't know if there was anything in them or not. But he was just, but he was just like, "I'm slanging the chronic legally." He was shouting. In that, roughly, let's say exactly like that, as it became something that got shouted back and forth amongst the three of us that went to the show that night for years to come.
That's pretty good.
And one of us, I think, bought one and it did not have any drugs in it. It had no cannabinoids. No THC or anything like that.
But a bag of flowers.
So it was just like, here's a lollipop that tastes like weed,
whoa. Yeah.
No, so it's just like, well, that seems like a fucking... Who would want that? Are there people out there that smoke weed for the taste? There must be, right? I don't know. I mean, people don't get so into their fucking individual strains.
Sure.
Fucking, like, no one's just out there just like, I'm just smoking grass, man. No, it's like, no, man, this is an indica. It's like a body hive, that kind of thing.
I don't think those people exist, but I could be wrong.
Oh,
they do. Yeah. They super do.
That's weird.
I don't know. Yeah.
All right. Last email. There's a real through line.
Real quick.
Okay.
Sex World trivia.
Okay.
Diablo Cody, writer of like Juno.
She used to work in the dollhouse there.
Yeah, she used to work in the strip club right next door and also in the Peep Show.
Yeah, the dollhouse.
Minneapolis,
And then what was-
Minnesota.
Yeah, Sinners was the strip club right next to
Something
it.
like
Yeah,
That's a great name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
What, Diablo Cody or Sinners?
Sinners. Okay. Diablo Cody is also a pretty good name.
All right.
Sex World has a giant bronze penis that you can put coins into and ride it like a mechanical
And take
bull.
pictures, yeah.
Where
It's
do the
pretty
coins
great.
go?
Into a little coin thing next to the penis or the scrotum,
All right.
near the
Right.
scrotum.
Okay.
For whatever reason, I assumed Minneapolis was a lot more conservative than you were painting.
No.
It had a kind of weird, like, kind of
So-
red light. They
Being in
called
the-
it the red light
in the
district.
Midwest.
See,
At
that
the same
seems like-
time, it's the hometown of Prince. So
Yeah.
It seems like a big enough city that it would have a seedy underbelly.
Yeah,
It
okay.
just has
They
a
put
And by
it
being
locked
part of the
downtown,
Midwest,
so-
it seems like it would be seedier
I had to look that
underbellier
up.
than the rest.
Yeah.
They had a
Oh,
really
yeah.
they had a really weird zoning restriction where the strip clubs had to be within a certain block radius.
Yeah,
of,
so it's
of
all
like one another.
downtown.
So it was like all downtown. They had one that was like an outlying one. Remember the Double Deuce?
Oh, yes.
Hell yeah, you remember the Double Deuce?
Yes,
That
I
place closed down. But that was like the one that was like grandfathered into like being able to be outside.
Right.
Of town.
No, you want seedy Midwest. It's the Outhouse in Kansas. It's in the middle of a cornfield. Used to be a punk bar, like Nirvana played the Outhouse.
Oh, wow.
And it turned into a BYOB strip club that was open
That
till 4
sounds safe.
Open till 4 a.m., which last call is 2 a.m. legally in Kansas.
Yeah.
And so everyone just like brought in coolers and stuff and sat on
Is
the
this
coolers.
That's how
the
they a lot of
cornfield one?
This is in the middle of a cornfield.
Oh, yeah.
It's near Lawrence.
I have not been there.
It's
in some states.
it's a thing.
So, like where I'm from, like that is just a thing because what they serve or don't serve there depends on
The level of nudity.
The level, yeah, like so.
and
It's,
that's
Yes.
here too.
Oh,
Like,
is
you
it?
can't
Okay.
do.
Well,
You can't serve alcohol and be fully nude.
there's always
really?
weird laws with that. Like
Yeah.
Outhouse was fully nude, but since it was BYOB, it was fine. So there could be alcohol and fully nude because it was BYOB.
because they weren't selling the alcohol.
yeah, so people were just bringing in their
How is
coolers
this-
or
How
wine
is that
boxes
legal?
or whatever.
Yeah, how
bringing
is this
your own
illegal?
alcohol
Kansas
into some place seems like the actual way more illegal part of that.
Yeah.
That's how it was. I mean,
Okay, all right.
I don't know. Petaluma doesn't have Petaluma. They wanted to open. It was the place where they sold tools, and then also they had some porno tapes.
okay.
And that didn't go down well with some people.
Oh, I'm sure.
And they were like, "Hey, get the porn out of your tool sale." So the tool sale moved. It was literally, the place was, I think, called Tool Sale because it was just a big sign that said "fucking Tool Sale," and they had tapes. I don't know. It's just fucking ridiculous.
Indeed. I have committed a grievous error here.
Uh-oh.
We had one more email.